Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Rocks Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of October 23rd, 2019. Decent sized week, not too bad since we have a 5-week month this week in October. But let's get right into it. First up, we have Action Comics number 1016. Naomi's making her appearance and she's kicking some butt apparently. So Bendis has done a great job on Action. It's really solid stuff. If you didn't check out Action yet, pick up that issue 1000 and just go from there. It's all really solid stuff. Next up, we have Aquaman Annual number 2. Yes, we're in the annual territory when we get to 5-week months. I'm curious to see what happens in this issue with Aquaman. It is by DeConnick, so we'll see. I have not been the hugest fan of DeConnick's run of Aquaman so far, but we are getting something decent. Or we're starting to get something a little bit better. So, fingers crossed. Next up, we have Ascender from Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. This one is fantastic. It's great. If you did not read Ascender, you need to read Descender. This happens before this, but also really, really good stuff. Next up, we have Batman Curse of the White Knight, Book 4. Sean Murphy's done a fantastic job with this Batman tale that he's been telling since White Knight. Curse of the White Knight is just fantastic as well. Check out White Knight. It is great stuff, and then you can jump in to reading Curse of the White Knight because they do kind of follow each other. So, next up we have Batman Superman number 3. Who's infected? That's what we're going to find out, but apparently it might be Superman, so we'll see what happens with that. And the Batman Who Laughs. Woohoo! Next up we have Black Adam Year of the Villain special. So far I've enjoyed these Year of the Villain specials. They've been pretty good. The Joker one that came out last was really, really good. I like that one. So if you're curious about Year of the Villain, check out some of those one-shots. They're definitely something that is worth picking up. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 1014. Victor Freeze coming back, hopefully. I think I need to read one issue. I'm one issue behind on it, so we'll see. Next up, I have Dial H for Hero number 8. It's fun, it's quirky, and whatever. Next up is Dr. Mirage number 3. Dr. Mirage has been pretty good. I've liked it so far, so we'll see if I keep going with it. Most of the Valiant books are solid, just good reads overall. If you're looking for something extra to check out, Valiant Universe is not that bad. Next up, we have Flash number 81. Joshua Williamson's done a fantastic job with Flash. Just curious to see where we're going with this Year of the Villain stuff. Everything's kind of in limbo with Year of the Villain right now, and I think that's one thing that's causing all the books to suffer, is we've kind of said, oh, Year of the Villain is happening, and it's been stretched out for a little bit, and it's kind of like, oh, now we're seeing doom symbols in the sky. It screams of Red Skies, which I'm not. If for those of you in the know, that was something that was going on with I think it was Invasion, and you just didn't. Or no, it was Millennium. I think not a very good crossover event for DC at the time. So we'll see. But fingers crossed, Year of the Villain pans out to be really good. Next up, we have Freedom Fighters number 10. If you have not checked out Freedom Fighters, you need to. It's a really solid read. Robert Venditti has done a fantastic job with this alternate Earth, what if the Germans had won story arc. Great stuff. Check it out. Next up, we have Justice League Dark number 16. Magic is all crazy and kooky, and everything's we're trying to figure it out in this book. I like it. It's good. It's James Tynion the Fourth. I butcher his name all the time. He's taking over Batman after Tom King. So if you're curious about his writing style, do check out Justice League Dark. And also, he's helping out with penmanship on Justice League, the one Snyder and him are doing. Next up is Red Hood Outlaw number 39. Really just good book all over, just good. It's first time Red Hood has been this good and this consistent for this period of time, so I'm happy and excited to see where it goes. Next up, we have A Second Coming number 4. This one's from Mark Russell that Ahoy Comics picked up. There was so much controversy behind that Vertigo couldn't print it. I've enjoyed the first 3 issues. They're okay. It's something that's definitely like, let's mix religion and superheroes and see where it goes. It's really good. I like it. Check it out if you we're curious. Next up is Star Wars Adventures Return to Vader's Castle number 4. We're in week 4 of the 5-week thing. I basically get these from my son. He'll read them eventually at some point. Next up, we have Swamp Thing, a dollar comic. This is Swamp Thing from 1972. This is the dollar version of the comic. If you've been curious about Swamp Thing, check it out. It's definitely one that I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually going to check this out and read it. So it's nice that there's a dollar copy of it. Not to mention that you can pick up the dollar copy and go, oh, I like that. And then they're starting to collect the omnibuses of that original stuff and like soft covered nice collections of it. So check it out. Next up is another Swamp Thing, and that's 100 pages of giant Swamp Thing. So we got a couple more. Let me check to see which ones are new in here. I've liked Swamp Thing's an amazing character. You need to read Charles Soule or Scott Snyder and Charles Soule's run on it. There's two new stories in here. Two new Swamp Thing stories in this giant. It's $5. You get a lot of comic book, a lot of bang for your buck. Really cool stuff. I've enjoyed the giant so far. I'm not sure if DC should make it a consistent thing, like a monthly thing. I think maybe like every few months, quarterly would be fine. Every 3 months, like, I don't know. It just pumping them out one after one after one after one after one. I think it's just going to oversaturate the market. I think they need to make sure they're releasing them on a fair and decent schedule and not just pump it out for pumping it out's sake. There was a problem for a while with Marvel with the True Believers books where they were just putting out way too many of them. And it's kind of like they didn't gauge the audience very well when that happened. So we'll see. Next up is The Terrifics number 21. I don't know why I keep getting this book. It's fallen off drastically. Let's see. I don't even know or care I don't even know who's writing it. It's all right. It's not anything that I'm like, yes, I have to read this. And honestly, I just want it to end so I can take it off my pull list. But, who knows? It might stick around way too long. I don't think Terrifics is long for the world. But hopefully, it ends soon. Next up is Wonder Woman number 81. Again, we're dealing with Cheetah and the Year of the Villain stuff. So we're going to see what happens with that. But who knows? Wonder Woman's been okay. Wilson has done a fair job on it. Again, like Kelly Sue DeConnick, just took some time to get her footing with the character, and now the character's starting to flourish a little bit. So I'm curious to see what she does with this, especially with the Year of the Villain stuff and with the story she's trying to tell in the meantime. I did pick up some variants this week. The first up is the Action Comics 1016 variant. This is the Deceased variant, so I grabbed that one there. Curse of the White Knight number 4 had a variant, and that was for Alfred. Was the cover on that one. Batman Superman had a Deceased variant as well. I decided to snag that one up there. Flash 81 had a pretty cool Gillian March cover, so I decided to grab that. And of course, the Jenny Friesen Wonder Woman cover for issue 81 is awesome and amazing. And if you want, you need to get this. It's a really good cover. So that's it basically for my single issue pull list. I did end up getting some graphic novels today, but not necessarily graphic novels in the sense of graphic novels for me, but more graphic novels for the little ones. So first up is Black Canary Ignite. This one's for my daughter. It's from DC Zoom. We'll see if she likes the Black Canary story. I think she's been trying to read the DC Superhero Girls books, so if she's getting into them that way, then awesome sauce. Reading is always cool. Next up is Maker Comics. This is Draw a Comic. Maker Comics Draw a Comic. They apparently put out things like fix a car, bake like a pro, create a costume, grow a garden, build a robot. So they have all of these different kind of maker things down here, and they're just like comic book versions of these things. And so my son's has shown an interest in writing and also potentially making comics. So I figured this was a nice little thing for him. So I snagged that up as kind of a reference guide. So hopefully he'll read that and enjoy that. Next up is the Super Sons, the Foxglove Mission. This is book 2 from the DC Zoom line. This is volume 2 of the first one. I have not yet read it, but again, this is the DC Zoom. This is the all ages stuff. So I'm going to check it out, and then I'll let my son check it out if he feels like it. So we'll see. I did get a couple special orders this week. The first one on the list is I got this Captain Marvel keychain thing here. I thought my daughter would like to have that. Let me focus in on it for you there. Yeah, so I thought she would like that maybe to put on her book bag or something, because she doesn't have any keys, so I don't know what she's gonna put on it. But so I picked this up for her, so hopefully she likes it. And then there was a new Harley Quinn red, white, and black statue from Greg Horn, and that is this one. This is kind of the one that inspired by Metal, DC's Metal event. So yeah, so I'm hopefully gonna have an unboxing video for this bad boy. I know I've been a little lax on getting extra videos up. I have technically recorded a bunch of stuff that I just haven't had time to sit down and get it up there. So I need to take the time to do that. There were a couple comics on the read list this week. The first one is Marauders from Marvel, and this is for the Dawn of X stuff coming out of the Hickman Hawks and Pox. I'm giving it a try to see what it's like. This one is written by Jerry Dugan, so we shall see if it's something that's entertaining enough to keep going. There's 6 titles coming out from the Dawn of X stuff currently, and that's X-Men, which came out last week, which was good. Marauders is coming out, and then you're also getting Fallen Angels, Excalibur, X-Force, and New Mutants. So I'm going to check out each of the number 1s except for Fallen Angels. I don't even need to look at that book. It just looks bad to begin with. Yeah, sorry. Hopefully this X stuff carries over and brings X-Men back up, because they have not been very good for a very long time. So last up on my read list is Money Shot number 1. This is from Tim Seeley, I believe. We'll see. It's basically kind of a, I don't know. It's I would equate it to kind of a sex criminals in space exploration. Who knows? There is a Jenny Friesen cover from Big Bang Comics over in Dublin that is amazing, and I really, really want to get a copy of it. So hopefully Ryan gets it from that, can have them ship some across the pond to us so we can sell them at the shop. Fingers are crossed, but it's a really beautiful cover. There's a lot of exclusive covers out there that you probably never see. So yeah, sometimes you just got to check it out. Marvel did a store exclusive cover for a 4th print on like a book. I'm like, really? That's ridiculous. It's getting kind of crazy. Speaking of exclusive variants, Comics Conspiracy has a store exclusive variant for Undiscovered Country from Scott Snyder and Charles Soule. That's coming out in November on the 6th. We have a regular version and a virgin version, which means it's like doesn't have any of the lettering or stuff on it. You can buy them individually, or you can buy them as a set. Go over to comicsconspiracy.biz and you can order yours. If you're a Comic Hub user, you can order one through Comic Hub. If you just go on to comichub.com and do that customer login thing and do all that stuff, all that fun stuff. It is available. It's cool. It's awesome. It's by Raphael Albuquerque, who worked on American Vampire with Scott Snyder. And we need more American Vampire because it's good stuff. So that's it for this week's poll list. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you get a chance, you can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 424, where we had Bryce Larsen on all the way from the great state of Oregon over the internet. We had him on to discuss House of X and Powers of 10. We did not go super long with it, but it was a long day, and it's a long day of recording, dealing with some tech issues. So yeah, but really good stuff. Check it out. It's episode 424. Yeah, listen to the Comics Conspiracy. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and yes, getting product. And so thank you very much to all our Patreon backers. It does help out, and it is much appreciated. If you want to help me out a little more directly, you can do that through any of the Amazon links I have here on my YouTube channel, or over at conspiratorbrock.com. Click on any of those, purchase something. Even if it's not the thing you originally purchased and you just click through and go find something, I'll get a cut. I appreciate everybody that takes an extra moment to do that on maybe an Amazon purchase. It helps out. Every little bit helps. You can help me out even more directly by going over to my eBay page to see what I'm purging out. I had a bunch of stuff up that the listings ended today. I'm hopefully going to be getting those up with tonight or the next few days. But I'm always cycling through, reducing, cutting prices, trimming prices here and there. But yeah, you got to purge. You got to get rid of stuff. So yeah, so check out what I got up there. Anything you order helps out immensely. So thank you very much to everybody that does that. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. And yeah, I think that's it for this week. Not much going on. I'm super tired though because I'm on day 9 of I'm on the day 9 of 12 working in a row since we had the sale last weekend. So I'm a bit tired, but I gotta persevere and get this stuff up for you. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next week.